contain the Cerberus, and then become the one whose name they dare to speak. Then I believe that we can shift the cosmos into something so much more complete than antiquated doublespeak. And then they use the frogs to all house, but me lost as I bring about this holocaust. I'm taking every soul of my brothers to resurface and bring a new plague to Olympus. Rather take back the 3 domains undertaken, cast out your own ecstasy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to North Sports Dynasty. Come grab your screens and welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am your host, Andrew Faubert, and I am here to give you extensive knowledge of the sports world you love and the dynasty you crave. Yes, I am alone today only because Mr. Alex Loosemore has decided to go help some family move today, which is totally acceptable. You're going to hold him accountable for that. Plus, his dad would kick my ass. I don't need that either. So I'm here alone today, but no fret. I'm going to make sure this mic is all good. There we go. No fret, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to be opening it up here, ladies and gentlemen, for you. Make sure this thing, I should have done this earlier. It's back to the old days. I'm going to open it up later on for everybody to come pop in if they would like to talk. But first, on today's show, we have NFL rookies and an overlook of the new guys coming into the NFL. The high stakes, high reward segment of the Daytona 500 edition. Oh, I got some juicy stuff for you there. Red's rant, off-season clickbait, and how you should really stop falling for that. Really stop falling for that. Dynasty Corner, we're going to have a quick segment about Jonathan Taylor or Najee Harris and which one of those players you should be looking at when you start up a dynasty. Or if there's other players that you're thinking about taking with the first overall pick, but this seems to be the consensus. And of course, we got your fan questions live on the air here, ladies and gentlemen. So first things first, I need a couple things from you, ladies and gentlemen. Like and share and follow North Sports Dynasty, every social media platform that you see. Down in the comment section, we have the YouTube link. Yes, major appreciation if you go there, make a quick click to the subscribe button down there, and you will get notified anytime we go live or anytime I'm going to be putting up some extra content videos, which will be posted on YouTube. First, yes, I have decided to get into this beautiful thing called sports comedy, and I'm going to try it out here by doing some videos in the next little while. I'm going to try to have a hand on that. Of course, you can go and check out NSD page and check out the articles that me and Alex are dropping every single day, whether it be about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Detroit Lions, or just NFL free agency in general, player rankings, NFL players in general, just the crazy news that's going around the NFL. We will be here to talk about it. So let's get right into it. First things first, we got to shout out our sponsor, Puppy Paradise Dog Grooming. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We finally have a sponsor. It's my wife. But she sponsors the show. Puppy Paradise Dog Grooming, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in the Fort Saskatchewan, Edmonton area and you need your dog groomed, you can get it for a $5 discount if you say that you are an NSD follower and supporter. When you go to Puppy Paradise Dog Grooming, prices are available on the screen there. And of course, if you need them sent to you, ladies and gentlemen, Puppy Paradise Dog Grooming on Facebook and every social media platform that has, businesses that, you need though. Of course, we give shout outs to everybody here that gives us love on our show before we give any praise to ourselves. Let's talk football. Bucks Report. 1252 Sports Chicago and apparently New York coming here soon. So woo! Get prepared for that, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Since the shout outs are all done and I'm all alone and I got, there's supposed to be news and all that kind of stuff. I had so much that I had to do today. I just decided to commingle it. Alex has really put me in a pick. I'm kidding. If Alex, you're going to watch this later on, don't worry. I'm not mad. I had to do this before. This is how NSD started, ladies and gentlemen. I had to do this by myself. And then I extended a helping hand over to Alex. And then Alex decided to basically just take this whole damn thing by the reins. And we team banged this thing. That sounds really bad. We worked together to make NSD exactly the way that we wanted to and where it is today. And right now we're doing pretty damn good. If you ask me, we got a sponsor and we got a lot of other places that we are expanding to. Got some other content coming out here. Like I said, we are just doing things here, and we much appreciate everybody who has helped us out. So let's get into it. The NFL players coming in to the NFL. NFL rookies, an overlook of the new guys. There's a lot of different new guys coming into the NFL. We all know the big names out there, the Aiden Hutchinsons, Cal Hamiltons, the Ahmad Sauce Gardners, Chris Olave, or Olav, what Oluvi. I can't remember how to say his actual name. I'm getting the pronunciation better of most of these guys. But today I want to talk about some of these other guys that are sliding around people's draft boards. Whether it be Drake London falling down to Pittsburgh. Why would Pittsburgh even take him if they're there? I would trade out. Whether it be quarterbacks running amok in the top 10 and just causing other players to fall down. We talked about that last week in our mock drafts 1.0 to kind of give you a better idea of the rookies. This week, it's just to give you a little quick glimpse of some of these guys and what they are going to possibly bring to some of the teams later on when they get drafted. The first player I wanted to talk about today is Michigan edge rusher David Dejello. This is a pure football talent ready to enter the NFL. The problem is, though, just like our good friend Johnny Dean has said, and a lot of people at PFF and everybody else has said, it's really, really difficult to say where he's going to go and if he actually is going to excel to the top elite that we think he's going to be in the NFL. But the raw talent is there, and it cannot be undermined. It cannot go understated. He can literally play edge, line, linebacker. He's got a bit of pass catching ability in that 10, 15-yard range. The knowledge on him and the awareness is what I've seen on tape that I just absolutely adore. He has got a nastiness to him. The intelligence is there. And this is something that a lot of teams are going to covet in the NFL. The question is where on this board do we start seeing him go? If you're following along today, ladies and gentlemen, drop down in the comment section, obviously. If you know who David Dejello is, one of Alex's favorite Michigan players this year, tell me where you think he's going to go. I personally think, like I've said, I want him right here to Denver. If Denver, for some reason, keeps that pick, that makes the most sense. That just means to me that they are ready to go all in with that defense, find their quarterback some other way instead of going the Aaron Rodgers route, which may hurt them in the end. But adding a talent like that, we've seen in Washington work. We've seen on the Buccaneers work. We've seen on the Bills work. We've seen what happens when good pass rush happens all the time, when you can't stop it. LA Rams just won a damn team. LA Rams just won a Super Bowl. Robert, I see you there. You're talking Denver because I commented. No, actually, this is one of the first places that I looked on this board of a team saying being able to reach and it making sense. And if Denver keeps that number 9 pick, David Dejello falling into that defensive scheme just absolutely works. Another player I want to talk about is a player that has been touted to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at number 27. And that is our boy, Johan Dodson. And I'm saying our boy because unless we are using pick number 27 to trade away for a quarterback, or for some odd reason we look at a different piece out there that we can acquire with number 27, that would be even equivalent to the JPP trade, which I don't think we're ever going to get. But if Johan Dodson is sitting there at number 27, seems to be an easy pick. Even if he's not going to Tampa Bay, Johan Dodson is a clone of Chris Godwin. Go watch tape on Johan Dodson. He played for Penn State. And there's a good amount of Penn State players that are going to fall into the later 3rd, 4th rounds that are going to be steal for some of these teams. I lost the play. Johan Dodson has got the ability, the ceiling, to become a high-end NFL talented wide receiver. Does not necessarily matter what team he goes to, because we already saw how good Chris Godwin could be when he was here, which is Jameis Winston. We saw how amazing he could be when he is actually given the opportunity to be thrown the rock by somebody who knows how to throw the rock. Not the rock. Johan Dodson is a good route runner. Johan Dodson also has this ability to snatch the ball that I can see in tape in these weird, awkward places, just like Chris Godwin. When the ball is down near your knees, still aiming towards the field, and for some odd reason, you can grab that ball without having to dive and still gain an extra 10 yards because you're, doing that crazy like step where you're gazelling yourself for an extra 10. That's what this guy has. Not only that, some people have even gone as far as saying he could just be a pure number one. 110% pure number one talent. I can see that. There's other ones out there. Drake London is the big one for me because I don't want to beat a dead horse here. It's Mike Evans 2.0. It is literally Mike Evans 2.0. Go watch the tape and tell me if you see differently. And then you can actually pop up here in the show and we can talk about it. Johan Dodson on a few teams, though, would be absolutely scary. A lot of players or a lot of teams don't want Tampa Bay to get Johan Dodson. If Aaron Rodgers is to stay in Green Bay, if Johan Dodson's there at 28, that's also scary. Him also going to basically any one of those teams except for Cincinnati. He's not going to go to Cincinnati. But any one of those teams you see on this far side right here, okay? Those are the teams that are more than likely going to get Johan Dodson. And those are the teams that are going to be able to get the best out of Johan Dodson. I don't want him to go anywhere besides Tampa Bay. But his talent may actually start pushing him higher if some of these other players start falling or have already been taken off of the board. Because you know that for Green Bay there, if Green Bay is sitting there and they get that pick number 9, Atlanta, if you don't take that best wide receiver, Denver's getting that best wide receiver. Plain and simple. And Johan Dodson, to a lot of people, is the 5th or 6th because, Andrew, there's so many. Chris Olave, Jameson Williams, Drake London. And hey, I'm the Drake London lover here. I'm the one that thinks it's Drake London above everybody else. But I understand the Chris Olave love. And there's another one that I'm missing too. I should pull up my list here. But I'm doing this all today myself. I'm making sure I got everything on the go here. Johan Dodson, though, is just a player that, depending on where he falls to, is just going to be absolutely amazing. I don't want to see him on Baltimore. I don't want to see him necessarily go to Cleveland. Those systems are not built to have 2 very talented wide receivers, as we've seen with Cleveland and we've seen with Baltimore, is they want to have those wide receivers for when the time comes where they throw it. But those wide receivers aren't going to keep running around an open field to just be left ablaze, to not have the ball, to get 1 catch a game and watch Marquise Brown go 80 yards to the house, 3 plays a game, and that's how he's making his living. It's not how you do it in Baltimore. Johan Dodson is another pick that I would go. Another one that I want to talk about here, though, on the offensive side. And this is a player, just like in last year's draft. He's not available up at the top 4. Nobody's even close to thinking that he is a top 4 player. But his talent's going to put him above and beyond. And that's Trey Mcbride, Colorado State tight end. This guy can block. But this guy has also got like the next type of upside for a tight end. It's like looking at TJ Hawkinson. It's like looking at Gronk. It's like looking at Kelsey, a Kittle, all over again. Darren Waller. It's going to be scary wherever this Trey Mcbride goes to. Because for fantasy football purposes, we'll bring up here for a second, since this is also a fantasy football show, but we got to wait a little bit. I'm getting all the player rankings, as you can see, but don't see. I block it. Trey Mcbride may actually go to one of these teams in the early first round that we do not necessarily think would be necessary, first of all, or that in a million years would happen because of other players just being available. But his upside right now is becoming a nasty George Kittle-esque type tight end. He may not be that great. We don't know, but I love his upside. And his mentality and his personality that you've seen around at the Senior Bowl, that I've seen online, a lot of players talking about how he's a bit of a leader, a bit of a goofball as well. And I mean that in all respect. Guy's tatted up, probably likes to party, but also at the same time too, he is focused to the game. Make sure, if you are a fantasy football player, and if you are starting up a dynasty, which we are starting up a dynasty here, and I believe that show is going to be April 2nd. So to anybody out there, we're doing a live show. It's more than likely just going to be on YouTube, so people could just pop in there. Don't want to flood the Facebook with like a 4-hour show of a live draft. But wherever this guy goes eventually in a rookie draft, that guy is going to be coveted, just like Kyle Pitts was last year. Kyle Pitts was taken at number 4. And we all sat there and were like, do I want to put him at number 4? Is it even possible that he would go at number 4? Like, what? And it happened. Atlanta decided to go with offensive talent. They're like, yeah, we might need to rebuild, but we also don't necessarily need to rebuild. We can grab the talent, build upon this, and then eventually get the quarterback that we need to develop into what we want this to be. But in the meantime, we're going to have fun with Matt Ryan until his contract's expired. It worked. So what in all these places, out of all these teams, there's only a couple of places that he would actually really, really scare me. One of them is being Cincy. I understand everyone's like, Andrew, they need offensive linemen. How dare you? They got money. There's some offensive linemen that are available in this free agency that they're probably just going to start grabbing. They're not going to grab offensive linemen probably till the second round. What I think they'll do is they would grab that crazy offensive weapon again and just ensuring that if you can cover Jamar Chase, which is almost impossible as we've seen, and if you can cover T. Higgins and Boyd, and for some odd reason, Joe Mixon, now all of a sudden you've just let a wild Gronk Kittle super hybrid thing there possibly go off and destroy you. There's also another play. I know we've talked about Kyle Hamilton before, and I want to give shout out to Ben Cornett. Ben Cornett, man, Ben Cornett there made a comment on one of the shows about Kyle Hamilton and where he could get drafted. Everybody's talking about Kyle Hamilton going up to like 3 or 4 and bringing into that transition, just like I was talking about with Kyle Pitts at number 4. Kyle Hamilton could easily go to number 3 at Houston, but that's not the scary part. Kyle Hamilton going to Carolina at number 6 would be the absolutely most disgusting thing I think I have ever seen in an NFL draft. I understand the kid's got to come and he's got to prove himself. But also at the same time, I do believe his talent is already made for the NFL. It's like looking at an Andrew Luck or a Luke Kuechly or any of those guys. You just knew they were going to be ready for the NFL. And Ben said if Kyle Hamilton, the number 6, and it just started getting me thinking, I'm like, they don't need him. They already have Chin, but who's their other safety? I'm like, okay, well, and then you think of J.C. Horn and Stephon Gilmore and C.J. Henderson and Brent Burns and the whole defense that they're just building on that thing. I, as a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, would hate my life for any developing quarterback on the Buccaneers or Atlanta or the Saints if you start building a defense like that in Carolina. Look what the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense did. And people thought we had holes and we won a championship. We had the GOAT at quarterback, don't get me wrong. But if Carolina could build that team with Kyle Hamilton in the back, you trade all the first-round picks that you want for the next, I think you're only allowed 3 years, and all the second-round picks for the next 3 years, and all the third-round picks for the next 3 years to go get your quarterback. And that would be a fucking team. Because Kyle Hamilton is a leader. And that guy coming down the pipe on a safety blitz, or even watching him cover a slot wide receiver where you think you got him burned and then all of a sudden he's got you covered and some guy's coming in to lay the hit afterwards on not only the player being covered by Kyle Hamilton, but your quarterback. There's no other player that I've watched in this draft that I think would make more of an impact instantaneously than Kyle Hamilton to the Carolina Panthers. And I'm giving shout out again to Ben Cornett for that because he deserves 110% shout out for that. There's no way in any drafts that I've thought that that's possible. But then when you start thinking of the considerations of the top 5 teams and what they could do, trading out for a team that actually wants a quarterback, that type of talent may actually fall. And that type of talent joining Jeremy Chin and the rest of the company on the Carolina defense is something I don't want it. I don't want it. And lastly, I want to talk about some of the running backs here. Not anyone in particularly. There's a bunch of people, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans have approached me. I've had a couple of Buffalo Bill fans approach me. Even Titan fans be like, do we start, maybe going in the 3rd round and drafting one of these guys to replace Derrick Henry later on? It'd be a smart idea. He's getting up there in age. But I think Derrick Henry's still got a couple years left on those legs, and you don't want to just keep somebody behind another great player and wait. It's never a great thing. But there is some good running backs out there. Kenneth Walker, everybody thinks is going to be the number 1 overall. I'm not sold on it, but I'm also not opposed to it. You also have my 2 favorites in this draft, as of, say, right now, but that's closely changing, is Isaiah Spiller, Texas A&M running back, and Breece Hall, the Iowa State running back. And Breece Hall, I got a slight more love for than Spiller, just because he seems all around to be the better player. He looks like he's going to be able to pass catch. He is going to be able to run it up the gut. He is really good one-on-one too, and so has Isaiah Spiller. But man, the 2nd round will have so much good talent still available that it's hard for me to see any of these teams grabbing a running back unless they absolutely, truly need one. I can see Cordell Patterson coming back to Atlanta, so I don't see them doing it. Houston, maybe in the top of the 3rd round would do it because they got so many holes to fix. The Jets, I give Michael Carter a chance, man. Like, don't even try that. I don't see the Jets or the Giants doing it. I don't see the Panthers doing it. So who starts doing it? Like Cleveland doesn't, Baltimore doesn't, Philly maybe, but they don't really need it either. Nobody around here needs it. Maybe they do now, but nobody needs a running back until maybe around here. They kind of do. They might want to. And I'm sorry, my fingers. I'm talking about the Cardinals and Buffalo. But, the Bucs still need one. Green Bay might. The Dolphins definitely do. Those are the teams to look at for the running backs. And you have to start considering 1 to 2, maybe even 3 good teams who don't have that great of running backs being able to get a steal in either the 3rd round or even the 2nd round. Hell, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers could trade into the end of the 2nd round and end up getting one of the 2 running backs that are my favorites in this draft right now. And a lot of people are going to be surprised. Maybe not for the one. Damian Pierce, the running back out of Florida. And everyone's, there's the Gator fan. There he goes. No. I love him. And there's a reason. Not just the Senior Bowl. And we'll get to that. But the other player I'm talking about is Kyron Williams, the running back out of Notre Dame. These 2 guys, in my opinion, stand above and beyond right now out of this class. When it comes to a dynasty draft and rookies, I am doing everything in my power to get these gentlemen. No questions asked. That might be to a lot of people who are doing this whole, hey, I'm about to be in a draft with you, Andrew. What the hell? I'm probably giving some stuff away, but I don't care. I want the Buccaneers to get Kyron Williams or Damian Pierce, because they are a 3rd down pass catching back that eventually, when given the reins to the system and actually can learn the system properly, will flourish highly in there. Will they be available in the 3rd round to, say, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or to some of these other teams at the back end? Probably not. You're going to have to trade up to get get around, say, Houston or, maybe even Atlanta in the third round. Some of these guys, they're just perfect blends of players that can be pass-catching backs and eventually take the first down rings. And those are the type of running backs that I am going to be looking at going into this draft. That was about halfway through this show. I want to get to the comments here. I want to make sure everybody knows there's the North Sports Dynasty link to YouTube right down there, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not liked or subscribed to both the Facebook and YouTube page, why? I can't take my clothes off on a sports show, guys. And who the hell wants that either? Like, maybe after dark, if that's what you really want, but you gotta let me know. Yeah. Drop us information and talk to me and Alex. Don't ask Alex to do that, though, please. It's very uncomfortable for him because he wants to. Alex says, hey, guys, even though it's just me, but I appreciate that. Red's Rant, oh, man, I know Ben Cornette is waiting for this. Oh, it's going to be a good one, I'll tell you that. Rob Ewan says, yo, hey, go Buccaneers, from Adam Weed. I absolutely adore your last name. You're talking Denver. Yeah, that's right. Yes, Denver needs an edge 100%, just to take up some of that away from Bradley Chubb. Sean Spencer from Let's Talk Football, ladies and gentlemen, right up on there. Let's Talk Football. Sean Spencer, get a hold of them. Like, share, follow Let's Talk Football. They got big things growing there as well. Shout out to Sean Spencer and Janae. I believe I got her name right. I really hope I got her name right, because I'm really bad at names sometimes. So I apologize if I got the name right. But shout out to Let's Talk Football nonetheless. More Let's Talk Football people. Sydney Swinton, what is up? Appreciate you joining in here. Mark in the phone. It got the good vibration. They're going to pull me because I sound way too much like the backup singers, just to let you know. So I got to stop about halfway through. I want them to target Tariq Woolen, cornerback. Kid is big and fast cornerback. We need big physical corners. Which college was he from again? I can't remember. But I've seen some stuff on him. It seems that would be a nice little steal. There's a couple. I like the Kendricks from Georgia in the third round too for the Bucs. That would be a nice one. But I like what you're talking about, David. Zagnif Productions, what's up, good? Or what's good, man? How you doing? Appreciate all of you. Damn them guys always approaching folks, right? Don't. You'll all see Johnny here in a few minutes. I want us to see about Marlon Mack. He's young. He's rested, pretty much having all last year off. Vaughn, though, deserves more of a shot. Stepped up a bit when Fournette and Jones went down. Yes, sir. And it's actually funny. If you go check out, I just dropped on the NSD page my 6 free agents that I would like to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers target. And I can't confirm or deny that may actually be turned into an article that may be on another platform. So stay tuned for that. It should be out tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, but you can obviously see it on NSD. Rob Ewan says, is it Kyron Williams' next draft? I think he's this draft, but you could be right as well. I know some people still have to give the say if they're coming or not type thing, or if they're declaring for the draft. There we go. Ben Cornette's in the house. Hey, buddy. I gave you a shout out there for your Kyle Hamilton to the Carolina Panther take, which I don't want it. Oh, UTSA. There we go. And now I'm drawing a blank on what University of Tulsa. I can't remember. Oh, I'm so bad at this. See, this is what happens when you live in Canada, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So now we talked a little bit about the prospects that are coming in. Let's see if I can win you some money in this little edition that I like to call High Stakes, High Rewards. All right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, with this beautiful. Did you not love that intro for High Stakes, High Rewards? I love it. It is the Daytona 500 edition. Yeah, that's right. This random little Canadian up here. Actually, and Alex, too. Let's not forget Mr. Alex Loosemore and the Loosemore family. Like the whole Loosemore family, I believe, is NASCAR nerds, is just as much as I am. Yes. So we are going to be looking at some of the bets. I actually just pulled up to see if any of the lines had changed on some of the other NASCAR picks that are out there. But I wanted to show everyone here the picks. So let's get them. Let's let them scroll down there for everybody to see. The Daytona 500 is probably one of the biggest sporting events, single sporting events besides the Super Bowl in the United States. So I personally love it. I've watched this since I was a kid. I've watched some of the infamous races, whether you're a fan of it or not. I think everybody loved and hated. Sorry, let me rephrase that. The 2001 Daytona 500. One of the greatest crashes of all time, obviously, with the Tony Stewart Home Depot 20 car landing on his teammate, Bobby Labonte's number 18 Interstate Battery car, and just causing a whole whack of damage, including Jeff Gordon's Rainbow Warrior car. But also in the last lap, the man, the legend himself, the Intimidator number 3, Dale Earnhardt, in that number 3 car, with the worst damn tires you could have ever heard of. Oh my God. Oh my God. He just blocked and blocked and blocked to make sure that his teammate and his son had a chance to go for the win at Daytona 500. And to be honest, it was one of the greatest races of all time. A couple years ago, we had the Ryan Newman situation that made me bawl because I was kind of scared. I was like, I don't want to see this kind of stuff happen again. But lo and behold, the Daytona 500 still brings some of the best racing around the world. I don't care what anyone says. Formula One is fun, yes, and it is hard to do, yes. And those guys go fast around corners, yes, but they got braking systems and stuff like that that prevent them from going, whereas these guys are doing it on a bank at almost 200 miles an hour in a new vehicle now that has been tested to help protect them, but also make them go faster. Just saying. IROC is also pretty fast too. Got to give a shout out to IROC. So let's look at some of these picks here. I just saw someone say, who wins the 500? Now, me personally, as a fan of, I wish I would actually, I'm going to see if the pretty lady can do me a favor and grab my Chase Elliott hat, because I know she's just off screen there. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's switch my Toronto Raptors hat for there's my pick right there. That's my pick. My boy, Chase Elliott. Driving the Napa car. Actually, I don't even know what car he's driving. I got to check what car he's driving today or tomorrow. Sorry. But I vote Chase. It's always been my pick. But if we're looking at some of the odds and some of the money that is out there, Hamlin and Kyle Larson are sitting at plus 900. A quick little, if you had, say, $30 to play with, which is exactly the amount that I put down, you'll see there on the Daytona 500, and you sprinkle $5 here and there, only on the winners. As long as you don't go past $90 betting, you won't lose too much money. Okay. So you pretend like you're playing with $90, you spend $30, you're covering that $60, you still lose the $30, but it's not as bad as losing a whole $90. But if you sprinkle it around, Chase is sitting at plus 1,100. There was another one I liked, Alex Bowman, the number 48, plus 1,800. Austin Cindric to be a random sleeper there, plus 2,500. I like Chris Buescher, the 17 car. Now, here's the problem, though, with some of the guys like Chris Buescher in the 17 car. I'm trying to think of the other guy right off because I'm just looking at the names here. Where is he? Stenhouse. There's my boy, Stenhouse. And even Eric. I see you, Eric Almirola. Those guys are what I like to call pushers. And these guys will push you to the front, and they're going to get around you as quick as possible. They will be your best friend until your girlfriend and you have a fight and you leave her alone with him. Guess what? He's taking the lead and he's taking the dub. All right, bud? That's just the way that it goes. But in this case with the Daytona, when we're talking about winning some money, we need to look at some of the other things that are around here. You don't want to just bet out flat out winners unless you like a car. That's what I would tell you there, Mr. Christopher Cole. If you like a driver, pick that driver to win. If you don't like a driver and you just want to make money off the Daytona 500, start going with the bets that you see down there. So for example, the winning car number, if it's even, and you bet $5 on it, you're going to still get $4, $4.55 back. That's good money from comparatively of what you're getting else around there. Because that's more, you got like a 50-50 chance on that. Same with the winning car number under 16.5. Now, this is the fun one for me. I looked at this and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm taking the over on that because then you like all those other numbers. Every number under 17, because that's technically what it's saying with the half there. Every number under 17 is a winner. The number 2 is a rookie. The number 3 is a good car. The number 4 is a damn good car. The number 5 just won the championship. 6, 7, and 8, all damn good cars. Number 9 is my boy. 10 is Eric Almirola. 11 is Hamlin. 12 is Blaney. These are real drivers. So more than likely, one of those guys is going to win. Now, this is the fun part. This is Daytona 500, ladies and gentlemen. The top 10, top 20 finishes is where you make your money in this. Because there's going to be a wreck, and it's going to hurt half the course. So just trust in one of the cars and one of the drivers who usually sit at the back and try to wait it out to actually get one of those top 10, top 20 finishes. And the one that I saw that I like, the Austin Cindric being the rookie, getting a top 10 finish is going to get you some money. But Todd Gilliland, another rookie out there, just getting a top 20 finish. Just finish the race, boy, and you got yourself money. And you'll get yourself money as well. Also on that top 10 finish, Michael McDowell at plus 200. Excuse me, this guy won a Daytona 500, like last year? 2 years ago? You're going to show this guy no respect for a top 10 finish? Give me that all day, every day. Let me get into the comment section here before I get our guest of honor on here today. You, Texas San Antonio. Thank you, Zagnif. See, I got to be better with my college football. And like I've already told Alex Loosemore, if Arch Manning goes to Florida, like to be with the Gators, you want to watch me every day. I will have a college show on. I'm be like, guess what he did today? He woke up at 7:14. The kid is killing it, man. Like it would be an everyday update on Arch Manning. Just saying. Dude, since no Major League Baseball, watch some college baseball. Road to Omaha. Ooh, you're not too. Might have to check you up on that, dude. You also got to remember, my house doesn't usually watch too much sports unless it's the Golden Knights last night. Ugh, I hate the Golden Knights right now. Speaking of which, I got to check my live bets while I'm also doing this. Ash Swinton, also from Let's Talk Football, part of the ladies edition happening. I believe that's on third. Well, I got to get all these dates just like written on my little pad here. Believe it's on Thursday or Friday is when I saw them. But all 4 of those ladies, shout out to all 4 of the ladies that are on there. And shout out to you, Ash, as well. Someone turning left will win. I've seen people turn right to win at Daytona because there's a crash in front of them there, Johnny. It happens. Prototype Racing Roads. Ooh, that'd be fun. Well, now I'm going to go bet, even though I have no idea what is happening because you've convinced me. Hey, I try because I'm trying to win people some money. That's all I'm trying to do. Last night for me was not the greatest of betting nights. If the Golden Knights could figure it the hell out, that would be great. So I'm just doing some work behind the scenes to try and see what kind of bets I can get today. I got a 3-team parlay right now of Colorado winning outright, which why is Buffalo even making this close? Like, come on, man. I'm going to take the Oilers and the Jets over 6.5 tonight. I just got a weird suspicion that it'll be like 4-3 and it'll be very close to it. So if you're not sold on it, I would leave it alone. But I'm also going to take the St. Louis Blues to be within a goal and a half of the Toronto Maple Leafs. These are 2 very good teams, so anything can happen there. $5 payout would win you $15.69 for a grand total of obviously $20.69. Obviously, love that good old 69 being there in the change section. So I will take that all day, every day to the bank. So yes, we got that going on. And what we got? I'm a driver, not a. Good. I'm going to have to watch that probably tonight just to make sure that my fiance will actually watch a little bit of the race with me. Because let's be realistic. I think Johnny and everybody in the comment section who actually watches races knows all you got to do is you turn it on for the first 10 laps and you go to bed and you wake up for the end of stage 1, maybe, You get like a quick little bowl in you, little hoot and a cigarette if you do that, a couple of drinks maybe, and you go back and nap and you wake up for the last 10 laps of the race, which literally lasts as long as the original half of the race because there's so many damn accidents and everybody's just like trying to win $1 million and cares about no one's life whatsoever. So I'm just going to move you at 210 miles an hour into a wall with a little fence blocking 120,000 people. Let's not talk about the dangers of Daytona. Damley Hamlin for the win. That would honestly, the FedEx car is really fast. And judging by some of the practice runs here, he seems to be the favorite. So, and at plus 900, you can't go wrong putting it on him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's only got the one Daytona 500 win. And it's Harvick that is looking for the Daytona 500. Someone's looking for that infamous Dale Earnhardt like Daytona win. So I'm from Vegas. Don't talk about the nights like that. Hey, listen. My fiance is a diehard Golden Knights fan here. I see Golden Knight things around me. I see the little bottle cap right there. But the last couple of days, just betting on the Golden Knights has been hard. I thought Eichel would do a little bit better. And there was no money on him just getting a point. So I put it on him to have a goal. Pietrangelo needs to do better than just being a stay-at-home defenseman. That's just me. Kyle Yates, thank you for tuning in. We're on Thursdays, taking a break until the draft. That's right. Let's talk football. Ash Winton there, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Ewing says, what kind of bet for Kadri scoring over 30? Ooh, I will take a look at that for you. I'll see what kind of odds are out there because he's on a roll right now too. So restrictor plate races are a crapshoot. Oh, buddy. That's why money can be made. You go take $5, take $1 each and put it on no-name drivers to finish in the top 10 or 20. More than likely going to win some money back because someone's just going to get through all the accidents. So, all right, let's bring on our guest here in a second. Let me get a quick commercial, giving thanks to everybody out there. And then I will have our guest on here to talk a little bit about everything else going around in the football world.
On the track.
The Hanzo and Sashi, Bengekyo, Kakashi, Genjutsu, and Rabble. My name is Itachi, destroyer of demons, the coldest of seasons. I bathe in the hellfire, began to steam, and they tell you readiness, give me a reason. Ask me for pain and I'll show you the meanness. Souls to forgotten, there ain't no redeeming. I'm here in the nether, blood of the screaming. Think they can eat me alive. Every single person with a pen and page, trying to keep up with this black and new age masquerade. All these Sonish motherfuckers will be calling it quits. Jamal Adams coming at you with this.
And we are back here live with our host and our guest today, host of the NFL edition and of the What's Happening NFL page that you can find, obviously, on Facebook. Mr. Johnny Dean, how are we doing today, buddy?
How's it going, bro?
I'm good. Just trying to make some money. I can't wait till Daytona. Daytona is like one of my favorite races, to be honest. I'd love Talladega, don't get me wrong, but Talladega, because of the movie, I love Talladega. I'm like, yeah, go watch Martinsville or a Bristol or a Darlington and go tell me if you actually like NASCAR.
Exactly. I love Bristol under the lights, man. I lived in Bristol while I was doing my apprenticeship in heavy equipment, man.
Bristol is always a good time.
It's great. We'd sit up on the hill, man, and just look down and watch the race.
We the one race that always sticks in my head, or the one image of Bristol nighttime that always sticks in my head, is the last lap Earnhardt and Terry Labonte in the 5 Kellogg's car, where he just moves him out of the way, and right after that, all you hear on the intercom is Rubbins racing. I'm like, oh, that was perfect. I see.
It's like watching fireworks out there at night, man.
Oh, I know. Oh, with all the sparks.
The sparks are just going crazy, man. The smoke coming up.
And Daytona.
Display.
Daytona tomorrow is going to be the same way too. Just like the first couple.
7 Daytona races, man.
What's that?
I've been to 7 Daytona races. We got company tickets one year, man. Where we resurfaced the track there, man.
Oh.
So we were in the green field.
Oh man.
Awesome.
See, and that's been one of my dreams. Like, obviously, when I was younger, the dream was to, Daytona Beach for spring break. Woo! But I'm a little old for that now. And Even if I wasn't with the pretty lady and the pretty lady came with me, I think we'd both be tapping out an hour in. I'm good. See Kyle's comment here. You're right about the Oilers are on the way. They're looking a bit scary, loving it. I was able to find a couple of I can email the people and said, I want to take the Oilers right now to win the Stanley Cup, and I want odds. And they gave it to me, but you're not going to get the same odds that I just got because of their little winning streak. But the second that those future bets do become available again on most of the apps, or if you can get them right now, sprinkle it on the Oilers to get to the Stanley Cup finals, if you can get that. And then I would sprinkle a little bit also on them to win because they're making it work. All right, let's get into this little rant here first. I'm going to keep Johnny on this too, because Johnny would probably agree with me on it. We got Red's rant here today, ladies and gentlemen. I just try to find, obviously, where everything is. There we go. And it's basically about clickbait. Listen, there's no clickbait here, ladies and gentlemen. There's just pure and unadulterated hatred for things, especially on this platform. Like the Saints. That's why their logo is always sideways on my house. So let's get into this here. Today's topic is going to be clickbait. The internet was not built for you to post something up there so fucking stupid that people actually call it real. The internet was put there for people to finally be able to communicate with each other on a daily basis when your mother is in Ireland and your cheating ass dad is in Australia with his new wife. That's what the internet was made for. And articles and blogs and moments in time where you get to read these beautiful things. And for some odd reason, when the NFL season is done, when your team is officially been kicked out of the playoffs, you know where your mind starts going into? La La Land. And not the good Oscar-winning one either. No. Shout out to Emma Stone. We're talking about the dumb bullshit La La Land that sticks in your head where you sit there and you're like, oh, Bruce Arians undermined Tom Brady. Or Patrick Mahomes had a conversation with his dumb wife and his dumb brother about not going to games next year. Why in the hell are we even taking a little bit of solace to this? Why? Because we have nothing else to talk about. That's it. That's the legitimate answer. Click, roll clips here. No, that's not it. The reason why we do this is because we live in a day and age where you can actually monetize yourself for being a dumbass. Did you know that? It's a brilliant thing that I've seen on so many different sites. Or you can go out there and say, well, this isn't necessarily dumb, but you can go out there and on day one of the Buccaneers being eliminated, all you see is Jameis Winston, a high possibility to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' next quarterback. Pretty sure watching Carolina Panthers highlights next year is going to show you how dumb that was. Yeah, the fans are going to love it for one game when he throws 550 yards, 4 touchdowns, and maybe 2 picks. And then the next game after that, he's going to throw for 200 yards and no touchdowns and maybe rush for a touchdown because he got so close in the end zone and 5 picks. And then the next game, rinse and repeat. There's so many different things out there that you can click on to get people talking. And I get it's the off season. We all understand. We all need something to talk about. This is what me and Alex have talked about before. Here at NSD, anything that we are ever going to bring up that sounds so dumb that people think that we're actually creating clickbait is not actually clickbait. It is something that we actually fully believe. And that gives you, the fan, and our guests the opportunity to come into our show live or through the comment section, which is also technically live, and tear us apart. And we actually openly invite that. Because me and Alex have vowed to never allow our platform to become something so dumb where we need to monetize it off clickbaits. No. I would rather sell feet pics than do something like that. I got beautiful hairy toes that some person in Austria is just going to adore. I ain't going to sell my sports knowledge for something so dumb as to go out there and say, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to acquire Josh Allen for the same trade that we did in the draft that allowed Buffalo to get. Are you kidding me? We really need to think here. Let's be logical. Let's be smart here for a little bit. And let's also not hold people accountable who are trying this out in the game for the first time. Somebody goes out there, writes an article about maybe a payment to a player that we're like, oh, we understand what you're saying, but that might be just a little bit too much. Let's not tear them apart and be like, what the fuck do you know? Let's help them out. But to the people out there that you know for a fact are just writing those articles out there to be clickbait, and we got to sit there and draw that into our same conversation, we know exactly what's happening. They're monetizing our hate. So in any ways, let's reverse that. Let's do it differently here at NST. Let's monetize the humor we got here. Let's show out and respect the people who actually put out the good stuff. There's a reason why I will put Let's Talk Football's logo on my show every single time. Because they put out real legitimate stuff. Every single one of those ladies and gents that are on their platform, on that platform. And shout out to Sean Spencer and Janae. Is it Janae? God, Johnny, you got to help me out with that eventually. But my point is, if you write something like that just to get people, pissed off and a fan base riling up, you're no different than some other things that are currently going on and around the world. And I don't think we all love that either. So let's take that bullshit that's going on around the world and keep it the fuck out of our bullshit love for our teams. Because it is bullshit. Let's be honest. We shouldn't be throwing around money at NFL teams. And they shouldn't be making money like that. We all know that.
How dare you?
But at the end of the day, we love the crap out of these teams. And we respect the crap out of these teams. And we respect the articles that are written about these players and these teams. Let's not support the people who are writing the bullshit articles. Let's be authentic and not one of one. This has been Red's Rant. All right, let's bring Johnny back in here.
You were fairly composed in that.
I had to. My son is sleeping a little bit too. I didn't want to wake him up with. He'd be like, "Daddy's yelling again."
I mentioned that James Canada, former Bucs defensive lineman,
Yep.
Last night on Ray Kennedy's show, addressed that perfectly. He just brush it aside.
Yeah, just let's stop giving those guys attention. And I'm not saying, because I'll never be the person like, stop giving them attention and draw your attention to me. I'm not one of those people either. The only reason you're watching NSD is because we bring you the proper content. You obviously like what we bring out to you. I'm not going to have my comment section full of a bunch of people being like, Andrew, why do you stand with something so stupid like that? If I'm just saying it to get those people in the comment section. No. I say stupid things, and I may keep a hold of those stupid things. And Johnny's one of the people that always pops on my show to tell me, you're Faubert, you're being so stupid right now. And he loves to do it. And so do some other people. There's a reason why I am who I am. But I don't say things purposely to get people going like that. I'm not going to say the Detroit Lions are going to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm saying every single one of 32 teams is going to win it next year. And every single one technically has an opportunity. And the lowest opportunity on that totem pole is the Detroit Lions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if we resorted to that, I'd have 80,000 viewers on my page.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And that's, and again, we don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to crap. Like, what am I going to sit here and, say shit on Let's Talk Football or 1252 or anything else that Bucs Report does just to get them to come into the comment section and be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? No, that's not how you generate a following. That's not how you generate friendships. And that's definitely not how you're supposed to talk about sports in this day and age, ladies and gentlemen. So just wanted to get that off on the chest a little bit. Let's talk about this quick here, Johnny, because it's got you in here. We'll get some other people in as well. Get some comments here. Stop saying the name. What's wrong with you? The real question is, why do you have Saints fans? That's what I want to know. Listen, just because I don't like them doesn't mean I'm not going to include them if they come on the show. If I had like 3 or 4 like start influxing, like coming on a show and they were all still really nice, I'd be like, okay, one of these days they're just going to switch during live in the show and be like, you know what? All 4 of us can just team up on this guy right now. Like, fuck this Buccaneer fan. I'd be like, nope, ending live stream now. Bye. I wouldn't do it. Who's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' next quarterback?
James Canada once again addressed that issue pretty well on Ray's show last night. He's got a good take on Kyle Trask. If you didn't hear about it, then you should probably go listen to Ray's show sometime today.
And like I've said too, I don't mind Kyle Trask either. I don't mind the two options that are out there. I don't mind going out and trading a little bit to go get the franchise quarterback that we want for this, retooling that they keep calling it. And I also have no problem with giving Kyle Trask an opportunity because we have Blaine Gabbert in. Well, we will more than likely have Blaine Gabbert in-house as well. He's a good backup. If we got to let the rookie develop, I would rather take our second-round pick and try to develop him. Because, Davis Mills took a couple of weeks, and then we started to see something out of him. So who the hell knows? Minnesota might even use Kellen Mond and might not even go a quarterback in this draft. Who knows?
That's a possibility, too. That's a strong possibility, actually.
Yeah. So let's talk about Dynasty here for a little bit. Dynasty is coming up. Johnny is about to get into the real Dynasty. He's going to get involved with all of us. And it's going to be funny because after it's all said and done, or even during the draft, Johnny's going to have all these trade offers sent his way, and he's like, rich X.
I dabble in some trades, but they have to be enticing.
Exactly.
It's not going to be like I'm just dumping off all my crap on you and shit.
Which is, like some of the picks that you see after a couple of you see at the NSD that we've popped up a couple of times there. Some players, even like me, when you need roster spots and, the draft has already happened and you've had this league going for a couple of years now and you've had a couple of winners, you start to see which guys are rebuilding, essentially, like just getting more picks, which that's not a shout out to Kyle. I know Kyle's got most of the picks in this draft upcoming, but he is definitely not rebuilding either, which does not make it very fun at all. But there's, in one of the leagues that I'm in a big money league. I'm rebuilding in that league. So it's like tossing $200 every year. I'm trying so hard, right? But it's because I want to. The day that I win that all back is going to be the day. Because when Javonte Williams and Darnell Mooney take me to a championship, man, oh my goodness gracious, I'm going to love it. And the big question that everybody is asking themselves right now, because this is now the offseason where everybody starts thinking about, if they're building a fantasy draft for Dynasty, is who do you take at the number 1 overall pick? If you had the number 1 overall pick, who are you taking? And the consensus right now is either Jonathan Taylor or Najee Harris. So that's basically the question that we're asking in the Dynasty today is if you had that first overall pick, are you taking Najee Harris or are you taking Jonathan Taylor with the unknowing, I guess you would say, of the quarterback positions of both teams next year?
You can probably figure out what I'm going to go for in the draft after last year's mock draft, what we did. Or can you?
I would say you would probably go the Najee Harris route. But the thing is when you're asked about that, when you're, can I have both?
I'm taking a quarterback first. Give me
I'm taking a quarterback first. I mean, Dynasty, though, especially if it was a super flex league, yeah, you see quarterbacks flopping out of the first round, obviously, right away. When it's the league that we're setting up right now, where it's just the one quarterback, you'll start seeing maybe pop out maybe mid-second, early third, usually, unless somebody just says, I don't have the running back I want at the 7th pick or whatever, so I'm just taking Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen now, right?
After last year, I think it's trending a different direction because we see what happens when 17 games in a season, the quarterbacks go down.
Yeah,
they go down quick.
Yeah,
so,
and
I don't know. I'm still debating that because I'm still debating it in the redrafts. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With a flex league, I know with the flex league, you got to get your quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, obviously
they're gone.
Because, if you had the first overall pick, if you had the first overall pick and you went with either Jonathan Taylor or Najee and you said, I'm taking my quarterback with my next round of picks, those double back-to-back picks, you'll grab one of them. You're still looking at maybe like Stafford. And just quickly look over here. You look at all the rookies would probably be gone. So, like, you might have to look at like a Carson Wentz or a Kenny Pickett when he is drafted or a Ryan Tannehill, maybe. And that's going to hurt you. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't necessarily like having the first overall pick in either a dynasty draft or anything like that. But that also being said, depending on where some of the other people go, just like a normal draft that you see, someone will go up and be like, I'm taking Miles Sanders in the first round. Like, whoa, okay. They're like, I'm taking Kenneth Gainwell in the second and make sure I got Philadelphia's backfield. Like, okay.
Well, back up again.
Listen, I'm more than likely in the next Dynasty one that we have. I'm going to be the one that probably ends up with Kenneth Gainwell before anybody else does. I hold his value so high.
I have made this deal with myself. If I take Gainwell, I have to go pluck my freaking nose hairs.
If you start taking him, yeah.
Tweezers.
What's funny though is like right now, just looking at the Dynasty, like the running backs, and just even like a normal Dynasty draft in itself, if you're doing it with just the vets and then you're doing it the rookies afterwards, right? It becomes two different drafts and makes it so that the person who has the last pick of a normal draft would make it so that you'd have the first pick in the rookie draft, which is beneficial. Some people would rather have that too. But then of course I've seen people trade, like you had the first pick in a vet draft and they trade it for the first overall pick in the rookie draft and then some other picks too. It's like, Jesus. So,
well, the first rookie I would take in a Dynasty would probably be named Kenneth, but it wouldn't be Gainwell.
Oh, Walker, eh? Yeah. See,
I like his potential.
And that's the thing too. Like if we were putting all the vets and the rookies together, right? I don't like doing that right now because it always is weird to try and figure out like their potential based off of what team they might go to. That's why last year when me and Alex joked around, we said more than likely Najee Harris is going to Pittsburgh. So let's just make sure that we just kind of assume that Najee's going to one of those teams that is going to be like a heavy need at running back. And the second he went there, I was like, I love the potential of Trevor Lawrence having his guy from college, and I love the potential of Joe Burrow having Jamar Chase, even though I was a little low on that. Not going to lie. But I was like, Najee is far and beyond. But it was also Travis Etienne, before they got drafted, was very close to him. Everyone was back and forth. Yeah. And that's where it is right now. Like, Kenneth Walker seems to be number one, and then probably Breece Hall, Isaiah Spiller. If Kyron Williams is this draft, which I'll double check that for Rob Ewing there, I would think it's Kyron. Damien's probably up there. There's a few other guys like James Cook and Zamir White, the Charbonneau, a couple of those guys. But it all depends on where they go. Because right now, we know for a fact
Williams is in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's a couple of teams that they obviously need a running back. So let's say Houston goes into the second round and grabs Isaiah Spiller. More than likely, that's going to end up being the player that everybody's going to grab at number one in a rookie draft because of the opportunity that he's going to get in that system, right? But there's always the opportunity because everyone gets scared when Travis Etienne got drafted to the Jags, and they're like, yeah, there's him playing with his teammate, but like James Robinson's there and Carlos Hyde's there, and like is he even going to get the touches? This year, I don't think it's going to necessarily be that bad for Travis Etienne. I think if anything, Travis Etienne will more than likely see a little bit more of the field, and James Robinson will come in for like your first and second down, and then Travis Etienne for like your third downs for a little bit. Right. But also look for teams to do that with Kyron and Damian Williams, and even possibly some of those later round guys like Allgeier from BYU. I know Verdell is one that Alec Schomburg there has been talking about from Oregon. And to be honest, if he fell to the Bucs in like the 5th or 6th round, I'm not pissed. There's a few of those running backs where I'm like, listen, if we go and we get some of the free agents that I think we can, then go get a late round running back and just see what he can do after Vaughn. Like I got no issue with that whatsoever. And if you want to know the one running back I'm looking at there, go check out the NSD free agency page. I put 6 players technically that the Buccaneers should probably target if we were to, trade for a big time quarterback, and we have to let some of our big championship players go. So give that a read if you guys are into it. If not, it's okay. I'm not going to force you. I might one day though. Like when I build my NFL team in Canada one again, I'm going to force that. I'm going to send that to everyone and be like, I'm going to quiz them the next morning, every single one of them. Go ahead.
I actually helped post your 3 quarterback thing.
I saw that actually. Shout out to Bucks Report for posting that. It actually got a lot of traction too. And there's
Yeah,
you
you
always
got
get.
you got 1,000 views just off my page, and I'm sure Bucks Report threw it up there.
Oh yeah. It was really nice though, because some of the comments that were in there, like, and when you get an article like that up on, say, Bucks Report, like a big page like that, you're gonna get people who are like, "This is dumb. We're not even in the running for any of this guys." It's totally understandable, 110% understandable. But I didn't. What I tried to do is not try to make it seem so dumb, right? Where some of these people actually came into the comments, and I've had messages from people be like, "How like." What the one person that messaged me was like, how did you come up with just the trades? Like, how do you evaluate it? And I told him, like, there's the Jimmy Johnson draft chart, like the picks chart when you're moving up in the draft. Take that in consideration, where you take certain rankings of other players and just the needs, and you can do a quick little algorithm of it and create a number for it. And they were like, whoa, is that why they call you big board? And I'm like, sure. I mean, I got the big boards, but yeah. So it all depends. I see the comments are jumping here. Kyle said, where we go?
They're having a discussion about Cook, I believe.
Oh, okay. I know up here it says we'll make wild card next year. Wow, not even attempting at clickbait. No, and see, these are the things though. These are the things. Those kind of takes like there is when you say that there's a possibility, like it's when the people are like 100% you're dumb if you say otherwise. Those are the people I'm like, well, now you just leave it open for you to be whatever. And then they turn around and be like, who fucking cares?
Hard line to draw in the sand, man. You make a statement like that, you better know what the hell you're talking about.
No, exactly. Like, I get it. And to be honest, like I want Detroit to start making the playoffs. I'm gonna literally get Alex a limo for that playoff run, man. Like,
they got a lot of draftees this year, and adding draftees takes a year to develop into a scheme. So I don't see them making a big jump this year, but following year probably, yeah.
I think he just meant in like the Dynasty League when we have it. He's like, basically trolling you. He's like, you can get your ass kicked by me. Except against Andrew, he always has my number in Dynasty, which is true. Like, I built that team last year, and then I was getting my ass kicked, and Kyle's team was also very dominant. I think I was projected number 1. He was projected number 2. And the guy who finished second in the league was projected number 3. And then Robert was actually projected, I think, like 6th or 7th. And then he ended up stealing players off me because I'm a dumbass. Kyle said he would take Najee. And you know what? I lean towards Najee, but when I first brought it up, but the more I think about it, like, I have Jonathon Taylor. And as a fantasy owner, there's nothing better than when you're like, shit, I need 33 points this week. And all of a sudden, Jonathon Taylor just goes up and puts 39 up, and you're like, yeah. So I might have to go Jonathon Taylor. That's just me. Johnny, you're cutting in and out. Oh, we got that fixed, though, so appreciate that. Spiller will be a stud if he falls in the right situation. 100%. I want him in Houston. I want Isaiah Spiller in Houston. That's just
want Houston to be stupid pass on him.
Well,
and then everybody after that, right up until us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because then if you look at the draft board,
we're going to have to develop somebody for behind Fournette because Jones ain't going to be there. I don't think that. Well, as a number 2, I think Vaughn might be okay.
I think so too.
See him taking over a number 1 spot.
That's hard. Like, I traded for him. Like, I basically what I did in Dynasty is I traded for him, but I was giving away things that I was basically like trying to give away in the offseason. I'm trying to get roster spots, but you're also looking at the opportunity. Like, if, say, Tampa Bay loses out on, a couple of free agents, then there's an injury in training camp or whatever. Vaughn is going to be the number 1 for a bit until they go and replace it. So Dynasty value is there. Or if he actually starts panning out and he's like, I'm the number 1 of this motherfucker. It'd be like, well, okay, well, it's a good thing I got you in Dynasty for a 4th round pick.
Even then, though, he's with the Bucks, which is a passing team. And it's not really, I mean, Leonard got, 900-something yards last year? And that's pretty high for in that scheme, so.
And I mean, Brady was always really good at the check down to Lenny, which, like, a couple of those games, a lot of people were giving Buccaneers fans crap on line there. Or the fans were giving the Bucs crap, being like, why do we always check it down to Lenny when we have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin? They're covered. Watch the game.
This year's scheme, I would take a gamble on a running back for the Bucs this year, coming year, because the uncertainty at quarterback, you're going to have to lean on the running game a lot. So yeah, I'd go that way this year, but
if
after
we're
that,
looking,
we'd have to wait and see.
yeah, if we're looking for a bruiser, because I kind of want a pass catching back that's got a little bit of flexibility, kind of like that Javonte Williams style, like a poor man's Javonte. I'm okay with that, but I would not be pissed if we got Zamir White from Georgia. Like I've said, he's got the cleft lip and he's had 2 busted knees already, but that kid just keeps on coming and he wakes up every morning begging to be hit. There's just something about that attitude that I want in a Buccaneers jersey. I'm sorry. Atlanta does take an RB at some point, just hopefully no earlier than the 3rd. And see, that's what I'm saying is there's so much good talent there that'll start falling in the 2nd where it's like I'm going to take my 3rd round pick and I'll trade back into the 2nd round to go get my running back then, right? Like that seems to be what's probably going to happen. So if Atlanta goes RB, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying we got to wait till the free agency period in order to find out what we're really going to be looking at.
Yeah, and this is all pre-free agency. This is all NSD breaks our offseason into 3 segments. Everything before free agency. Then while free agency has happened, we start talking about who would go where after that. And then, of course, after the draft, because then we got nothing until August.
I set mine up by right now by it don't matter if you're just taking the best player available. That's what I have at 27. To me, that's the best player available for our upcoming needs.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we go free agency to that position, then that spot can still be improved by grabbing the person I put at 27. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's how I looked at it before free agency. After free agency, I can evaluate better and then adjust accordingly.
Yeah. Misador, Caliese, if Atlanta goes RB early, they will be crippling that player's career. I mean, it depends. I'm not going to lie.
When Atlanta used to have a great running game. Remember that?
Well,
that's under different coaching and all that stuff too. But
Arthur Smith was Tennessee's guy, and he knows how to get running backs going. So he might be looking at that in the 2nd or 3rd round too. He might say like Breece Hall's coming here, and if Breece Hall comes to Atlanta, I'm fucking mad.
I don't know if Atlanta's got the offensive line to set up a running system, but
no. Most likely Dameon Pierce. That's the thing. Like if you're looking at a Dameon Pierce there, just like the Buccaneers and a couple of those other teams there, that's the direction I personally want to. I want that pass catching back, and I also want the Florida kid. That's just me. More Florida on Tampa. That just seems appropriate, even though other people hate that. Misador says Bucks needs to look long and hard at Cook right. James Cook, Dalvin, his brother, we passed up on, and I don't think we would have ever had this running back issue if we didn't. So I also like the other Georgia guy there in James Cook. He is good. I think he's slow like his brother, and I just want to see him bruise a little bit more because we've seen Sony Michel and Nick Chubb, and I want to know, are we going to get the Nick Chubb or the Sony Michel, right? I think Zamir White would be your Nick Chubb, and maybe Cook ends up being Sony Michel, or they both can end up being a Nick Chubb. That's what I want. It'd be awesome if we can get both.
Rams this year. I was surprised. I didn't expect to see what I saw out of him this year.
No, and like he had the first 2 games where he showed really like I thought a little bit more than what he did in Pittsburgh or on the Patriots, and then he kind of went back to like, I'm gonna do 25 carries and get 86 yards. It's like that's who you are, buddy. That's
right.
And no touchdown. So I hate you for fantasy. Cook would be awesome. I agree, but not worth any earlier than the 3rd. I think, see, everyone's kind of agreed. Where like I at first was like, get running backs in the early 2nd. Now I'm like,
I think the running backs are going to start going mid-2nd round. And
someone's going to start trading up like Denver did last year, and it's going to be like shit.
One team will probably, I don't know. I can't even see. I don't see any teams that's going to go first round.
Maybe Miami, like just to make sure.
Possibly Miami.
You know what I mean? Like, the Alabama kid too. That Brian Robinson, they could probably steal in the 4th too. Yeah. Get a couple of Alabama guys in there. That'd be nice. Hoping Atlanta picks them up. Agreed. They should 100%. They also need to look hard at wide receiver in the 2nd round. We actually, a couple of us have a wide receiver going number 8 to Atlanta. Right now, the big consensus that I think a lot of us have been talking about with Atlanta, especially me and Johnny, is like, is it Drake London or is it Ahmad Gardner if they fall? Like, really?
I swear they got to go Drake London.
Why you've been haunted by Mike Evans for like the last couple of years. Go get his clone.
Yeah. Pitch didn't work out in the end zone. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
get somebody that's going to go out there and work out in the end zone.
Which I've seen that debate for Dynasty, and to anybody out there who's a little bit hesitant on Kyle Pitts, please don't. Listen, that's the one advice I can give you next year. Kyle Pitts is going to get a touchdown, all right? And Kyle Pitts is going to keep his consistency going. He is actually, I've been doing
he's going to be a great possession guy.
100%.
But putting him in the end zone is not always.
No, because once you get to the red zone, it's like, who do you have to cover? Peterson or Pedersen or whatever his name is.
He's in a crowd with these big guys and stuff. I think might be shaking him up a little bit too.
Yep. So I like that. I also like the idea of trying to think of the other team there, Kansas City. If Kansas City was to make sure that they could have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and like a Breece Hall, like going forward, you add Breece Hall into the slot because he's kind of like a wide receiver as well. Yep. It's a reach, I know, but I wanted Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the Bucs. Like I was praying for that. And then when the Chiefs took him, I was like, okay, well, I guess not.
I like Kenneth Walker. I like the big guy, man. You know what I mean?
He's got a
the odds of getting Kenneth Walker are astronomical. But I'd love to see somebody like that on the Bucs.
I like him. It's just the only thing that gets me with Kenneth Walker. The only thing is he's got like this giraffe-like run to him when he's starting to get going. And when you have your legs too far spread apart like that, when you're trying to get going, not when you're trying to like, deke and move, that's different. But when you're actually trying to get your speed going, that's where injuries start coming in. And
who else did that? Ran like that? Almost exactly. If you put them running towards you on a loop together, Dickerson. Dickerson ran just the same exact way, man.
Yeah, and see, it's funny because I actually in my notes have that I think it's the UCLA kid, the Charbonneau there. I think Zach Charbonneau. He's kind of got that gallop as well, and I'm like, man, like you just like a linebacker just picking up the ball. Like I like those guys. I miss those types of running backs too. So
when I was watching Dickerson back in the day, man, I could never understand how he got so many yards running like this.
Right?
How is this guy doing this, man? He's just the glasses, the goggles, and all that. He was amazing to watch. He was fun to watch, but I just never could. When his numbers started getting astronomical, I was like, "How is he doing this? It don't seem like he's doing it." You know?
Yeah, it makes no sense whatsoever. If Aaron is gone from the NFC North, that division is wide open. I think the Bears would probably take that then. I don't think Detroit would compete for it, but I think Detroit would make it interesting. And I think Minnesota is a little bit away from that. The NFC North
didn't replace Aaron Rodgers right there. But if they had to go with a rookie or something like that, or Hurts,
yep,
then I could see him dropping to the bottom of that division.
Oh, for sure. I like this. Does Patterson get resigned or does Atlanta? No, I think because they got a little bit of money and they have no other targets, I think they would give him like this nice little bridge 2-year deal and just bring him back because then you can draft all the other talent around him for the next 2 years until you get your new quarterback type thing or until you start to say that extra rebuild that you will probably do. So I think you resign him. I don't think you want to let him walk to someone like the Bucs or something like that. Could you imagine if we had him on the Bucs?
Absolutely not, man. That's their guy, man. Even if he's not doing anything, you put Patterson on the field, and they got to double him.
Like that. Imagine he's a free agent and he actually comes in for an interview with the Bucs. I'd be like, give him $6 million and don't let him leave. Fucking just 2-year, $12 million, fully guaranteed. Call it a day, done. Here's your $12 million. You play for the Bucs for the next 2 years, and there's no question about it. We're fucking done. Kyle Yacey, if they don't Tampa, it's funny, I didn't even see that. Tampa better snake up. There's a lot of teams that would be like, listen, we saw what you just did for Atlanta. We see you. We see you. And then Misador said, used to? Who, Craig Hayward?
Whitehead was a bad man.
Yeah, he was. All right. So we're about to the end of the show here, Johnny Dean. So I'll let everybody tell you where they can find you.
Everybody's going to tell me where they can find me? Okay, cool.
Or you tell everybody.
Right here in the green. What's happening in NFL? Thursdays at around 9:00. We do the NFL edition with Alex Loosemore and Andrew here. He's been showing up quite a bit. We're doing a draft thing right now, and Andrew's really nailing it.
Not even close.
All right, guys. See you later.
Appreciate having you on, buddy. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Johnny Dean, NFL edition. Big contribution here at North Sports Dynasty. And going forward, yeah, he's an article writer here. Everything else like that. And yeah, that's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's a quick little one today, about an hour, just under an hour and a half. It's because I don't have my co-host here, so we decided to move everything back a week. Next week, when we come in here, we got our Dynasty rookie ratings. We'll actually rate them for you, tell you which ones to look for in a dynasty draft, redraft, which ones you just want to look for in general in any upcoming fantasy situation. We're also going to be talking about the NFL free agent destinations, some of the top NFL free agents and where we think they're going to be going. Basically where we think they're going, what is the best situation for them essentially, and then a sleeper team where we think they're going to be headed as well. All right. Shout out again. There it is. Shout out again to Puppy Paradise Dog Grooming, ladies and gentlemen. The first sponsor we have here at NSD. There's the set price list right there. She's bowing in the background. Make sure that if you are a liker and follower and subscriber to NSD, you can easily get your dog groomed around here and get $5 off your first dog grooming. And we'll see what happens after that. And, of course, shout out to Let's Talk Football, Box Report, 1252 Sports Talk, The Sports Web, and everybody else who has helped along the way with NSD. Everybody who was in the comment section, we appreciate you. To everybody else out there, for all your sports knowledge and for all of your Dynasty questions and answers, check out North Sports Dynasty, where we give you the best Canadian content that you could ask for with anything regarding sports. I would talk hockey, but my Red Wings are on a little bit of a roll, and I don't want to jinx it. So this is also why me and Alex don't want to talk about the Red Wings. Shh, we don't talk about Bruno. Okay? All right, guys and ladies and gents and all the other. Yeah, okay. Have fun. We'll talk to you later. Much love. We'll see you next Saturday. I will be live on the cheap seats tomorrow night talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and all the news that has been going around there. So see me tomorrow or see me not. That's okay. Love you. Take care. Bye.
So if I can be the Cerberus and then become the one whose name they dare to speak, then I believe that we can shift the cosmos into something so much more complete than antiquated doublespeak. Attempting to use the frogs to all hope, but be lost as I bring about this holocaust. I'm taking every soul of Mcbride to resurface and bring a new plague to Olympus.